From the Weather NorCal Command Center, this is your evening update.
American Door Company has been family-owned and operated for over 29 years, supplying Northern California with quality garage doors, garage door openers, and installed with the best service you'd expect from a locally owned company. We serve all of Northern California from Willows all the way up to the Oregon state line. Give us a call today.
How's everybody doing out there today? What a gorgeous day we saw on the coast. I love looking at these cameras, especially on days like this. We are looking out at elk country north of Trinidad. Beautiful blue skies. Not seeing any elk out there this evening here, but it's always a nice sight when you get to see them. Take a look at Crescent City, another gorgeous sight. This is that time when I'm thinking to myself, boy, wouldn't it be nice just to be kind of hanging out on the beach over there? Maybe sit down on a rock, enjoy that ocean breeze. Because if you're in the valley today, boy, not so gorgeous. You know, I was actually having some lunch with some friends, and we were in there for quite a while. And I step out, you get this overwhelming whiff of smoke. You see the big plume of smoke. You're thinking, what is going on? Of course, I checked, and it just turned out to be a prescribed burn, but a big one, 2,000 acres north of Redding. There are other prescribed burns as well out in Trinity County. So that's what's going on when you can kind of see that haze and that smoke out there. I mean, otherwise, we will be looking at mainly sunny skies, cool temperatures sticking around with cold overnight lows, but gusty winds will be returning to the forecast this weekend, increasing that fire danger, unfortunately. And as far as rain is concerned, it's probably not going to return until maybe toward the end of next week. So let's talk about those temperatures overnight. This is where we have a frost advisory for Del Norte and Humboldt counties from 1 a.m. until 10 a.m. tomorrow morning. We have a freeze warning for eastern Humboldt County until 9 a.m. tomorrow morning, and a freeze warning also for central and western Siskiyou County also until 9 a.m. I'll say it again because I said this yesterday. There were these watches and warnings off to the west here, but no watches and warnings anywhere else. Temperatures will be colder off into Modoc County in the eastern mountains. So if you have sensitive vegetation, anything that needs to be protected from freezing temperatures, do it for the eastern mountains. If you live in the valley, I don't expect to drop below freezing, but there could be some areas of frost in the valley. So take the necessary precautions even in the valley if you have any sensitive vegetation outside. Just kind of a thought. Again, it's better safe than sorry. Because when we look at the overnight lows, Redding will drop down to 34 degrees. That's enough support for frost development. And there you can see those temperatures not quite as cold after that. Colder temperatures. And by the way, what we're seeing here is mainly for Siskiyou County. I'm expecting some lower teens for parts of Modoc County, such as Alturas, for example, as we go into the next few nights. Okay, and then for the eastern mountains, temperatures in the low 20s. I mean, it's getting cold. And even the north coast, I mean, you're dropping down to 39 degrees here for Saturday morning. And how about those inland areas? Yeah, temperatures in the mid 30s, upper 20s to low 30s out in Trinity County. So cold, cold overnight lows for the next few days. Now, we switch gears and we're going from cold temperatures to high fire danger. Now, typically we associate high fire danger, of course, with the winds, but heat as well. It's not going to be hot by any stretch of the imagination, but when you've got gusty north winds combined with low humidity, it doesn't matter how hot or cold it is. That can really mean some high fire danger out there, and that's for Saturday and Sunday. So let's take a look at the wind gusts. Not a concern today, not a concern here for your Friday, but Saturday, look at the winds. Now, in particular, the foothills, that is, east of the valley, are expecting some of the strongest gusts. The north and west side of the valley, so say Redding, Red Bluff, kind of west of I-5 at that point, seeing some of the strongest winds. Not as bad off on the east side of the valley, but still gusty winds there nonetheless. That'll be the case as we go into noon. We take you into the afternoon on Saturday, winds dying down, and they typically do subside even on gusty days in the evening and overnight hours, but still expect to be pretty gusty. Now we take a look at the humidity out there. And, you know, they're down in the teens and 20s here for the next few days. But for Saturday, this is where we're seeing those humidities drop down into the single digits. So combined with the gusty winds, that's unfortunately going to really elevate that fire danger. Now, I want to show you the fact that we do have those dry conditions in store for us. And that'll pretty much be the case here as we go through the weekend and even into early next week. Sometime around Thursday or Friday, we are going to be talking about chances for rain. But until then, it will remain dry. Wave heights, not changing much. If you have to be out on your boat, should be about the same as it was today. Taking a look at marine forecast, northeast winds at 5 to 10 knots, waves to the northwest at 5 feet at 9 seconds, and no advisories to speak of, at least for the immediate coast. So looking at what it looks like tonight, yes, it's getting cold. And by the way, still pretty smoky in the north end of the valley, but cold eventually for early tomorrow morning in the mid to upper 30s in the valley. Teens and 20s off in the Modoc County and the eastern mountains. For Siskiyou County, in particular eastern Siskiyou County, we're talking low 20s, but in the mid to upper 20s elsewhere in Siskiyou County. And then off to the west, you can see out towards Trinity County, low 20s in some spots like Hayfork, otherwise upper 20s, low 30s, low to mid 30s for the inland areas for the north coast, and for the coast in general, around upper 30s to low 40s. Now for tomorrow, I've still got those hazy skies in there. The smoke probably won't be as bad as it was today for the north end of the valley, but I still think that we're still dealing. I mean, you're talking about a 2,000 acre burn here. So yes, you're still gonna be looking at some smoke, but they've stopped contributing to adding to the acreage. So it should start to kind of burn out, and you'll probably see less smoke here for tomorrow. Temperatures in the mid 60s for today, for tomorrow, that is in the valley. For the mountains in the 40s and 50s, and off to the west in the low 60s for places like Trinity County and the inland areas. Taking a look at your 7-day outlook. Well, of course, I've got the dry conditions. Right now, I don't have any raindrops for Thursday. That may change as we get closer to the end of next week, but bottom line, not much in the way of rain. There's your Halloween day. It's dry. It's going to be cool, though, for those trick-or-treaters once that sun does set. Those temperatures drop pretty rapidly. Taking a look at your 7-day outlook for the valley, hazy for Redding and Red Bluff tomorrow, especially in the morning, probably getting better in the afternoon. And then, of course, temperatures are increasing a little bit. We're back in the low 70s by Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, even into Wednesday of next week. We'll see that same trend for the inland areas and for Trinity County as well. But I do expect that drop in our temperatures for next Thursday. And as I mentioned, no rain in the forecast just yet for Thursday, but that may change over the next few days.